Hello, TFR Wilderness here, and yeah, what's with the sunglasses indoors? Well, got my latest KTRT bots just arrived, and it's a figure from a new sort of spin-off line from Hello Carbots, and yeah, it's got some rather sort of eye-watering, gaudy colours on the robot mode, and that's part of the reason why when you look at the thumbnail from the start of the video, the robot mode, I've put it in black and white so as not to give the game away. Yeah, so a little bit of backstory before I get too deep into this. Earlier on in the year, I found out that Hello Carbots was doing a movie, and the movie is called Cretaceous Period Adventure. Hello Carbot's Cretaceous Period Adventure, at least I think that's what it's called. And basically, the rough gist of the plot is Chatan, the little boy from Hello Carbots, the cartoon show, who's a friend of the Carbots, and he's got the little wrist-mounted doohickey where he can summon the Carbots to deal with everyday sort of dramas that happen, and also deal with that bunch of bad guys that's in there that keep creating mutant creatures and ghosts and all sorts of funny things that run around. Anyway, something happens, and Chatan gets basically zapped back to the Cretaceous period, like 100 million years ago. And so he finds himself in prehistoric times, and he has a bit of an adventure in prehistoric, Earth, basically, running around in the time of the dinosaurs. As it happens, there's some Carbots there that actually transform into dinosaurs. So now Hello Carbots is doing Dinobots. So yeah, as a result of this film, which it might still be in the cinemas in Korea at the moment, but I'm not sure. It was a couple of months ago this film came out, and there was a big hoo-ha about it. It's a 3D interactive movie, from what I understand. It's definitely a 3D movie, and I think there's some other bits in it to make it, extra flashy for kids. But as a result of this film, 4 new Carbot toys have been produced specifically for the main Dinobot characters, the dinosaur characters in the show. Now I've just got my first one arrived today. I'm going to get all 4 of them eventually. So over the next couple of months, I'll be getting all 4 of these Dinobot characters. But the one I've decided to go for is, in some ways, you could say it is the weakest of the 4. But I wanted to go for this one first because the colours are just so outrageous on the robot mode. As soon as I saw it, I oh, my eyes are bleeding, Ben, Mr. Waspshot, if you're watching, you like your G2 Transformer stuff. Well, this will be right up your alley, mate. I guarantee it. Yes, right. So there's 4 Dinobots, and they're fairly typical. We've got a Tyrannosaur, we've got a Stegosaurus, we've got a Triceratops, and a Pterosaur or a Pteranodon, and that's the one I've gone for today. So say hello to Hello Carbot's Terajet, the Pteranodon. Now here she is in her Pterosaur mode, and as you can see, it's a purple Pterodon or Pteranodon or Pterosaur. Not much you can say about it. It's pretty much a brick. What I will say about this, this toy. Well, the other Dinobots, they're shell formers. The dinosaur shell encompasses their robot mode in dinosaur mode, and they look like proper, sort of scale model of dinosaurs. This one is the exception to the rule because poor old Terajet is like the typical Transformers plane former. It's like it's a fairly convincing plane on top, but lots of robot kibble underneath. Yeah. A quick flash of the old colours there. Now it does, however, if you look at it, the moulding detail on the back, it's got all this scale detail on it. Really cool moulding detail. It's got all the muscles and the bones all picked out. It's also got this this sort of frosting or sort of gradient shading on the wings and on the head that up close is really detailed and really cool. It's got the head. There's a little bit of movement on the head. It's about the only articulation you get in the Dino mode, and it's got an opening mouth, and it's also got like a laser cannon for a tongue. Hang on, let's just get that. There you go. It's got like a laser cannon for a tongue. Now the head it just moves up and down a little bit. I wish it was, you know, it had like a mushroom peg so it could pivot side to side, and also the neck. You can see the neck. It sticks up quite a bit, and I wish there'd been some joints in the neck so you could bring the neck down straight or flush. But that's about all you can say. It's got these claws here that are picked out in white. It's got the little beady black eyes there, and around got the tail, and you've got a little bit of movement in the legs, and you've got the upturned claws of the on the back end. So the Pterosaur mode is a thing. I mean, pretty much all these dinosaurs, from what I can see, when they're in Dino mode, they're bricks. They've hardly got any articulation, but they're fairly convincing looking dinosaurs. And when you look at this thing from the top, it looks pretty good. But then when we get to that, yeah, so the reason for the shades. Anyway, so there's not much more I can say about the Pterosaur mode. It's pretty cool. It's got some lovely molded detail, nice colours, a little bit of articulation on the head. Again, wish it had a bit more going on with the pterosaur neck to allow a bit more articulation on the head, but it is what it is. It's nice and solid, as you can see, pegs together really well. It's got decent weight to it. It's very well made, just like, you know, all the other Carbot figures. Before we go any further, we'll just have a quick look at the packaging. So there's the packaging. Now, this packaging is different to usual Carbot packaging. Usual Carbot packaging has a big window in the front so you can see the figure inside. This one is different. It's just got, you know, cards, and there's the rest of the figures from the line. You can see you've got the Tyrannosaur, the Stegosaur, the Pteranodon, and the Triceratops. I will be getting all 4 of these figures eventually. There's a little bit of character bio on the side. Obviously it's all in Korean and I can't read it. It actually says on the side there, it says Dino Carbot. So rather than calling them Dinobots, they're Dino Carbots. So they've got that base covered. Now this version is it's a special edition. It's the theatrical exclusive version. I don't know what that means. They did some special promotional toys for the release of the movie, and this is one of them. Now, obviously, you get the box. Inside, it just comes in. You just get this plain cardboard thing that the figure's sort of strapped into, which is different to what I'm used to. And also, another thing, when you look on the box, it's got the Quairoc Contents Factory logo on it. No Sonocon on this. So these toys was done by Quairoc for the movie. Now, Quairoc, as I understand it, is the company that does the Hello Carbot TV show. And their YouTube channel was originally called Quairoc Contents Factory, and then they changed it to the Carbot channel. Anyway, now this movie is done as an aside to the main Carbots toy line, which is done by Sonocon. Now it seems interesting that these toys are made by essentially a different company. The design and build quality of them is pretty much the same as, you know, Carbots of old, you know, like the original Carbots from seasons 1 and 2. I think that, you know, the design and build quality is very similar to that, not so much the Carbot figures that they're making now. So that's my main reason why I went for these, because the robot modes are very much reminiscent of the Carbots from the earlier series, and that's what I like about them. Yeah, so they're, you know, yeah, Quairoc's doing them rather than Sonocon. I don't know whether there's anything in that, but I just thought I'd mention it. Yeah, so let's get into the transformation. Very simple transformation on this. It's quite fun. There's some pretty smart engineering on it. So turn it upside down, and then you take the tail, and it picks together quite firmly, and then you split it and separate it like that, and just leave that like that for now. Then you can unplug the wings like that, and then just sort of move them out of the way. Then you get the pterosaur head and neck, and then you pull them up on this double hinged panel. And if you look in the back of the head, there's a large slot, and if you look here, there's a long peg there, and you bring it round, and then you peg that into there like that. So then you get to the legs. Let's just make sure they're facing. You've got to make sure they're facing forwards. Right, now the engineering on these legs is quite clever. You've got this orange piece, which is sort of like the middle of the foot. You sort of fold it like that, and then you take the claw bit, you bring it down, and then you just fold it in, and there's a foot. So you maneuver that like that, and then again bring the claw section down, fold it in, and then fold the side panel in like that, and there's the feet. With the arms, you just rotate them like that, and then bring them down. And then the fists, it's got some pretty clever engineering on the fists, kind of like Power of the Prime's Blot, where you've got the pterosaur sort of feet, and then you just take the claws, and then you fold them round, and then a fist comes out, even though it's not really a fist, it's just a flat plate with a 5mm peg in it. So you do that on both sides, like so, and then you just get down to the head reveal. Take the top of the head, and then you just do that, and there's the head in there. Now here is Terajet in robot mode, and it's like, look at these colours. Obviously, I don't know whether this webcam's doing them justice, but you know, you've got dark purple, lime green, and bright orange. In what world does that colour combination, you know, make any sense? You know, it's just ridiculous colour combination. When I saw it, I thought, oh, I just got to go for this first. So yeah, so that's why I went for this gal first. Gal, yes. So Terajet is a fembot. She is a female. She's the token female of the bunch. But I like the design. It's pretty cool. It's fairly typical Carbot engineering and aesthetic, because you know, she's got quite long, thin legs, a decent sized head. Now the head is obviously inside the back of the pterosaur head, and it's a shame that doesn't come back anymore. There's a little bit of plastic in the back that stops that from going back any further, and the head is ball jointed. You can move it, you know, with your finger, but it's difficult to get in there to move it. But yeah, it has got, I think it's ball jointed. You've got to be careful, because that comes unpegged very easily. Yeah, it's ball jointed, but like I said, it's very restricted to get in there to do anything with it. The arms, you've got ratchet on there that goes backwards and forwards, friction joint that comes out to there. The elbows, it's got sideways elbows, so the elbows, they go in. There is no bicep swivel, unfortunately. It's a shame they didn't put one on. The fists, you know, they're like that. They're facing forwards, so you know, to plug accessories in and hold them up. So you've got the arm, got the elbow that goes in sideways, and that's about all there is for that. So there's nothing at the waist. Hips are okay. A fairly good spread. They go 90 degrees forward, but they don't come back at all. There's a little bit of plastic that stops the legs from going back. I admit there's like this bit of backpack which would get in the way, but I don't see why they've restricted the rearward motion on the legs. Looking at some of these restricted joints on this figure, I reckon it's a case of if you shaved a little bit of plastic off, you could improve the articulation on the figure if you so wished. It has got 5 swivels. That means most of the Carbots, the early Carbots especially, had 5 swivels, so nothing unusual there. Friction knee that goes to 90 degrees. And the feet. Now the feet are quite interesting. Because of the transformation joints, there's quite a bit of motion. I mean, they turn from side to side. And they have got an ankle tilt, but it goes the wrong way. It goes outwards rather than inwards. So that's a bit of a shame. But, you know, she's decently articulated, fairly typical for an early Carbot. Also, you've got these little flaps on the back which fold out, and they have these pegs in for the accessories, the weapons. Now, she comes with these 2 sort of orange sort of gun type things. Now, they do peg together. Let's just get that right. To form a kind of like a spear or a lance, which is pretty cool. And she can hold it, obviously. There's a slot in a thing, so you can plug it in. And then you've got the peg in the back. And you just peg it through, and there she's got the lance, which she can, or javelin or spear, which she can hold above her head. But you know, because of the unusual way the joints work on the arm, there's very limited poses she can do with it. Also, they've got little 5mm pegs, which will peg into the fists, so she can have them as guns, like so. And then obviously you've got these pegs on the back. Now you can put them on there. They do peg into the underside of the wings in Pterosaur Mode, but they go behind the wings rather than in front, or, you know, like on Swoop, where they have the weapon, you know, the missile pod sticking out underneath. So it's kind of unusual. And yeah, so got that. That's about as much as I can say about it. I mean, it's a decently articulated robot. Outrageous colours. I mean, wow! Look at this thing. It's just eye-watering. But yeah, it's a really cool figure. Obviously, before I go, it does come with some instructions. They are kind of colourful, they're a little bit more involved than the usual instructions you get with a Carbot figure, and they show you the transformation in both directions. And also, because this is the theatrical version, it comes with these little chips. Now, in the show, you can see them there. In the show, Chetan has this watch thing, and he gets this cube that pops out, and then it's got all these. It opens up into a little box with these little tiles in that he grabs, and then he sticks them in the watch and turns it, and it goes "Hello Carbot," and then the Carbot that he selected appear. So these are the chips for the wrist-mounted activator thing. They've got, you know, QTR codes on the back, and you just plug them in. You twist the grip, and it does lights and sounds. So these, I think, this is what makes this version of the figure unique. The fact that it comes with these extra, you know, activity tiles to go with the wrist thing. As I haven't got one, I can't make use of that. But you know, it's nice to have it as an extra accessory, I suppose. So yeah, Hello Carbot, Cretaceous Period, Pteranodon Terajet. She's all right, actually. She's pretty cool. I like her. She's got her flaws, as most, you know, Carbot or KTRT figures have, but she's all right. She's not bad. I mean, she's got outrageous colours, decently articulated, reasonably fun transformation, not particularly complex, but you know, there's some clever bits in there. And alt mode is slightly compromised by the fact, you know, it's all bare underneath. There's no panels to cover over the robot bits, but apart from that, she's a decent figure, and the first figure that I have got from this Cretaceous period, you know, Dino Carbot line. So that's been my review of this gal. Hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, make sure you wear your eye protection when you buy one of these. Yeah, I've been TFR Wilderness. I've got the next, I should be expecting in the next couple of days, the next member of the Mini Force X combiner to come in. That's Semibot, the red planeformer. There's a bit of a method to my madness, because over the next 4 months, I'm going to be buying all 4 of these and the rest of the Mini Force X figures, and I'm sort of going on a theme. Like this month, I went for the flyers, so I got the flying Dinobot figure, and then I've got the jet from the Mini Force combiner. So I got them from Mr. Soon. He shipped them separately in order to, and as I bought them separately, he shipped them separately a day or so apart, so as to avoid getting a customs hit. And so far, one's got through okay, so that's working. Yeah, so that's been me, TFR Wilderness. Hope you've enjoyed this review. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.